There's no magic bullet to what is a pro-growth policy. It really depends on the problems that each of these countries face. But one of the broader problems when you talk about high quality jobs, pro-growth policies, private sector, etc., the role of the government is to create an enabling, not a disabling environment for the private sector in order for private sector to become dynamic and provide the jobs that are needed, the high quality jobs that you mentioned. So in some countries, for example, in Jamaica, the red tape, the bureaucracy, and our pet example is the procurement policy, which is a horrendous process, and it takes forever to get things done. And so there are efficiencies to be gained from addressing some of these bureaucratic problems that the private sector confront in order to do business there. The second thing, and this Joyce touched on in her paper, is access to finance. You cannot have growth in a country unless it starts from the base. The base has to be strong. It is not created by 2 or 3 large corporates that they cannot carry the economy. It has to be carried from the base. And in order for that to happen, you need access to finance for small, medium enterprises. And we don't even know what the scale of the problem is because of the data that is not available. So I think that is again a fundamental issue that needs to be considered. The third thing, and it goes back to partly what Sebastian was talking about, and this goes to the resilience and the impact of the agricultural sector and the absence of its ability to withstand shocks. And the shocks are abundant. I'm not talking about hurricanes. I'm just talking about regular rainy season, and that wipes out your agricultural stock. So how do you build resilience in the agricultural sector in a way that you're able to leverage that as an input into your hotel sector? I think there's a huge growth potential there that has not been tapped in the Caribbean fully. And the fourth thing, and goes back to the government, is as long as the government stays big, it is going to crowd out the private sector. And the private sector is not going to be able to do because what it's supposed to do, because they are quite happy to be buying the government bonds and making quick money from a business model that is not growth driven. So I think there's a connection there that needs to be broken so that the private sector can do the role it is supposed to do.